we call Joe Bob's Advice to the Hopeless, TNT Mail Girl.
She's not here.
What?
She's not here.
The TNT Mail Girl is not here? What do you mean? Joe Bob. Dear Joe Bob, I didn't want to tell you this in person because it would break my heart. 2 months ago, I met the man of my dreams. He lives in Sweden. We were married in Stockholm 3 weeks ago, and I am devoting my life to helping him with his shipping company. You guys made this up. I will always look back on Monstervision as the highlight of my life, except for meeting my loving, wonderful husband, of course. Stay sweet, and remember, drink your milk, Honey the Mail Girl, and she puts a little heart over Honey. You tell me the Mail Girl quit? The only woman I ever loved? Come on. Well, maybe loved is a little strong, but she did it in a letter? She quit in a letter? I had tickets that I bought myself for the Demolition Derby and Monster Truck Mud Bog at Texas Stadium. She sneered at that, and then she sends me a letter. In fact, you guys know any chicks that might want to go to that with? Anyway, she broke my heart in a letter. That's, I'm a shell of a man. I'm speechless. Is this for real? She's not coming back. Sweden? Some guy named Sven or something? I'm speechless. Well, I can't be speechless because Ted wouldn't like it, but, okay, let's move on. I'm going to be adult about it. Put this behind me, the ungrateful little... All right, I'm fine. Okay, well... okay. Well, right now we got another one of those nuclear destruction pictures, one of those after the Holocaust Mad Max ripoff pictures. Every time we show one of these, we get a few complaints about violence on TV, So I'd like to make it clear right here at the outset what our position is on sadistic violence, torture, and bestiality. I, Joe Bob Briggs, and I think I speak for everyone here at TNT when I say this, I'm violently opposed to nuclear war. We won't tolerate it here at the network, and I won't have it in my own house. Now, Warrior of the Lost World. This baby stars a whole lot of twisted metal, and what we got here is Robert Ginty. You remember him, the exterminator? Remember that guy? No, you don't, do you? I didn't think so. So anyhow, we got Robert Ginty riding around in the post-nuclear wasteland on a monster Harley with rocket pipes on the back and what looks like maybe a 102-inch Super Glide stroker and some 19-inch wheels and a little computer on there that tells him when to push a button and explode some geek hitchhikers. And Big Bob's mission is to take this bike into a zombie nation ruled over by Donald Pleasance and rescue Persis Kambata again. She's back again. Persis is here. It's Persis Kambata night, only on TNT. I wonder if Persis Kambata would like to be the mail girl, because, this has hit me so quick, but, job opening. I'm sure Persis is available, but there for a while in the early 80s, I don't know why they kept putting Persis in movies where she had to actually talk, and she's from India, and she just didn't get it. All right, we got the basics here. Dead Bodies, 74. Motor Vehicle Chases, 10. Crash and Burns, 13. Kung Fu, 3 scenes. Excellent Human Barbecue electrocution scene. And I give it about 3 drive-in stars, so check it out, and I'll be talking to you some more during the remainder of this, what has become depressing 4th of July weekend when I, Joe Bob Briggs, lost the love of my life. It's okay, all right, don't make a big deal out of it. You don't have to do a suicide watch or anything. I'll be okay, In a few years, I'll be okay.
Return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Well, that's pretty much the whole plot of Warrior of the Lost World. Robert Ginty runs around on his talking supersonic motorcycle while various punk bands with crossbows shoot at him. Did you notice that the little motorcycle computer can't spell? Perimeter, P-A-R-I. This thing came out back in 83, 84, somewhere around there, and everybody was trying to cash in on the whole Road Warrior thing. And for some reason, the Italian filmmakers were the biggest producers of these things. They thought it was the return of the spaghetti western. They were going to open all those Rome studios again, but this time with motor vehicles. And for a few years, it was. They made a whole slew of these Mad Max ripoffs over there, and Conan the Barbarian ripoffs over in Italy. And remember Ator the Fighting Eagle, starring Miles O'Keefe? Now, Miles hates for me to bring up this movie, but they made 3 of those Ator the Fighting Eagle movies where Miles was in a loincloth. Anyhow, Robert Ginty has now penetrated the secret wall of illusion, and you know what that means. It means you have to do a whole lot of scenes with Persis Kambata. So go ahead, watch if you dare. Oh. You know, my question is, how come the only people that survived nuclear war are the ones with bad haircuts? You know, those punk people. Wouldn't we occasionally have just one Wall Street stockbroker who survived nuclear war? You ever think about that? Obviously not.
We now return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Persis Kambata, what an actress. Let's hear it for Persis. Come on, everybody. Persis. Now, see, they must show no emotion as they enter the secret factory city. Shouldn't be any problem for Persis. Anyhow, I got to explain one thing that was confusing about that sequence we just watched. In the original movie, Robert Ginty says, I ain't interested in your local politics. You know, I ain't going to go rescue your father, whatever. And Persis sticks a gun right square between his legs, and she says, either you help me rescue my father or I'm going to blow your cojones off. Only she doesn't say cojones. But in the TNT version, she just kind of holds the gun up in the air like this, you know, like, I'm not impressed, okay? Moving forward through the land of mutant zombies. Let's continue. Don't you just hate it when they do that to a scene? But my question is, where do they get that other scene that we show on TNT, the one we show on TV? Where do they get the little piece of film where she's holding the gun up like that, stupidly, you know? They must know this is going to happen, right?
We now return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Why'd they cut for a commercial there? He shoots the guy off the tower. They cut for a commercial before the guy hits the ground? I mean, what is that about? Who was on duty that night? They think that's going to make us watch to see if he really hits the ground, you know? We'll have to wait through all the commercials. He might be caught in midair by an eagle and saved. Who's running this place? All right, I'm not going to hold you up because we're in the middle of a firefight here, so go ahead and continue with the flick. I'm going to have to kick some hiney around here, you know? See, it's the summer. You know how hot it gets in Atlanta in the summer? It melts off little pieces of the medulla oblongata, you know, and it causes stuff like this.
We now return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Oh, that was great. A projectile midget. He used the midget to knock out the 2 jiu-jitsu guys. But once again, we're in the middle of the dang free-for-all at the punk camp bauxite pit thingy. We're having like a geek kung fu tournament, while meanwhile back at Donald Pleasant's land, Mr. Bald-Headed Psychiatrist from the Halloween movies is going to fry Persis' brain on a light table. So prepare her for the assembly line, spoken as only Donald can speak it. And did you know that Donald Pleasance, the ultimate bad guy in these movies, was always doing stage plays in London? He was doing like leading man stuff over there. Isn't that weird? Because we only know him over here as a geekazoid of the first order. Anyway, back to the movie. When in doubt, blow something up. See, that's always been the philosophy of Edward and Helen Sarlui, the Italian action producers who made this baby. And actually, if you saw a movie called The New Gladiators, you'll notice it's almost exactly the same movie as this one. And that's because Edward and Helen filmed it back-to-back with this one. They wanted as many Road Warrior-type movies out there as they could get. Okay, let's go. Where's Fred Williamson, by the way? The Hammer. Fred's supposed to be in this movie. He has like 3rd billing or something. You shouldn't monkey around with Fred's screen time, you know, because Fred will put you in the hospital. In fact, Fred is thinking about putting me in the hospital just for talking about him right now like this. So, Fred, if you're watching, great acting, man. Hadn't seen you in the movie yet, but when you get here, I know it'll be great already. So, what do you think? Is that good enough? Is Fred going to buy that? Because I don't know.
Return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Wow, that was one of the all-time great crash and burns there, wasn't it? What a great fireball. I enjoyed that. And Fred is here. Fred Williamson. He's up there in a helicopter or something. And once again, we stopped the movie right in the middle of a chase scene. What is wrong with you people? You're not allowed to do that. Aristotle does not allow that. Good grief. Just finish the chase scene, okay? Whoa, you know what I'm getting sick of, though? That little squeaky voice on the motorcycle computer. God, is that thing obnoxious. It was funny for about 2 minutes, okay? You know?
We now return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
Man, oh man, another great fireball when the battle wagon blows up. And thank God that cutesy little motorcycle is dead. All right, come on, let's get to Donald Pleasance. We need more Donald and more Fred Williamson. We've bazookaed enough mutants. It was fun, but you can't eat every flavor at Baskin-Robbins. It'll make you sick. You know what I mean? Okay, roll it. These Italians, they love dynamite, don't they? Italians and dynamite. The dynamite guy on one of these Italian movies is probably a celebrity, you know? They probably come on the set and they say, "How many sticks today, Paolo?" You know? They love to watch that metal fly. I think it's what makes them great as a nation and a people.
We now return to Joe Bob's Last Call on TNT.
My God, who sings that dang theme song? That thing is terrible. Whoa. The singer is listed in the credits as Chris Worth. And the director is David Worth. Anyway, Fred Williamson had practically nothing to do in that movie, did he? But you did it well, Fred. Congratulations. And that's it for Joe Bob's Last Call, the sequel to Monstervision. I just want to remind you that next week we have Time Runner, one of those time travel action Terminator ripoffs that makes your head hurt because they're going back and forth in time all the time. And that'll be followed by the great Jackie Chan classic, The Protector. And that's just about everything here. I think you can stick a fork in me because I'm done. Did you guys hear about the one about the blonde who was sitting at the bar by herself? And this man comes up and starts talking to her, but she gets offended by his remarks. And she says, "Just because I'm a blonde, I'm no dumb bimbo. In fact, I'm smarter than you. I can name the capitals of all the states." And she starts to leave the bar in a huff. And the man's watching her leave, and so he says, "Okay, what's the capital of Colorado?" And she stops, and she smiles, and she turns around, and very confidently she says, "C." Joe Bob Briggs reminding you that the drive-in will never die. Remember our motto here at Monstervision: the more you run over a dead cat, the flatter it gets.